Mr. McCarthy to get here, but Mr. Webb and myself will handle it. I don't think we have any private citizens, unless you have any concerns, Kelly. Not a private citizen concern. All right. Go on to approval of minutes.
I have no objections.
All right. I have no objections either. So then we're cruising along. All right. Juneteenth is the third item. I got a request from the mayor to add this onto our agenda for today. And it looks like we're attempting to do that with, does it have an ordinance number yet?
No, I don't have, you don't have more than for city council.
Okay, so it's labeled ordinance Juneteenth 2021. Looks like you're just adding it to the list of paid holidays.
That's the simplest way that I'd like to do it.
Does he want, is the mayor plan on doing any sort of resolution to accompany it on like, or a proclamation or?
I think they could.
Okay, I just didn't know if you wanted to add some info with the ordinance.
I'm trying to think if he has not mentioned anything to me. He did not mention, but I feel like there may have been some other entity that asked him for a proclamation.
Something like this, I would normally kind of expect to see some sort of proclamation with it. Recognizing the holiday, because do we recognize it on a national level yet? Or was it just this year?
It was just
I think it just, okay, yeah. And I don't know if Ohio does yet, but.
Ohio did, I believe that the governor did like the day before. Or something. Recognize it, but not on the press day last year. I think it was like later.
Okay, and then, so is it just an addition?
It's just an addition to that holiday, nothing else.
Okay, and is that also, does that affect any of our bargained agreements or?
No,
Okay.
that would be separate, labor management meetings with everyone.
Okay, and we don't do Columbus Day, do we?
We created Columbus Day for Christmas.
That's what I thought.
Some groups.
Some, yeah, okay.
Not all of the unions did, but yes.
Okay.
But the city created, like us, not our bargaining.
Yeah. Yeah, because wasn't there like a lot of people taking half days and stuff for Christmas Eve anyway? Or I remember asking about that at one point, about Columbus Day and hearing that feedback that it was treated for Christmas. What was that?
Most people, like 10 years ago. Yeah, most people would prefer Christmas Eve, so.
Okay.
Did we ever trade anything to get the Friday after Thanksgiving, or is that just been always been?
That's been that way since I've been here.
Okay. It never had to.
Never worked in a government entity that didn't give both Thursday and Friday off.
Yeah. Okay.
Google has it as a holiday on my phone.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Wow.
called the Friday after
Friday after
Thanksgiving
Thanksgiving? You know, I just found out this year why it's called Black Friday. Do you know why?
Yeah.
I guess I never knew. That keeps the stores in the black, or keeps businesses in the black, huh? The other question I had about Juneteenth is, I mean, we treat it like any other federal holiday. If the 19th falls on a weekend, they get the following Monday. All right.
Well,
Nothing.
I'll say this, I think it's fantastic. I'm glad we're doing
Absolutely.
stuff like this. I applaud the mayor for getting it on our agenda, and maybe you can give some feedback about a potential proclamation.
Yeah, I made a note to pass it on.
Okay. I assume you have no objections?
None.
Consider that recommended to council, a vote 2-0. Next we have, I'm looking at service here. Changes to section 266.
I didn't know if you wanted to go through these one more time or if you had any.
I am not gonna lie, I have not looked at this. Which is probably surprising to no one in this room.
I will admit I'm not shocked at that. Okay.
That's okay. I know who I am and what I'm about.
Well,
But I assure you that the gentleman sitting next to me probably
I studied everyone, which is no surprise.
It's horrible for someone like me to have someone like him for
I just have more time. I mean, that's all there is to it. It's just, I'm doing it in my lazy boy in the middle of the day, just feet up, so it's.
No problem.
But yeah, let's go ahead and go through it if we.
They're not particularly complicated. There are 10. This first one, 26605-2. We are removing the police and fire references in this section, since the police and fire sections would then be covered in their collective bargaining unit, and it would not apply to, say, the chief.
Okay, and I'm assuming, okay, I'm getting where the highlighted are taken out, omitted.
Sort of. In this case, the highlighted is what we included.
What was, yeah.
What's being removed.
Yep.
I wasn't exactly consistent.
Okay. That's okay.
This little project, okay.
Anything that helps me track the changes.
I have one question on this one. I see you're eliminating, overtime in excess of 8 hours a day and going to just 40 hours a week.
For non-bargaining.
For non-bargaining. I was curious why.
We did that somewhere else.
Yeah, we did, I thought we did that last year.
Yeah, we did that earlier.
We've done that.
It's already been done, and we just want to get the language correct?
We did that in the book, right?
And it's in the handbook.
Handbook.
Yeah, we did that quite a while ago.
Okay.
Just to make that consistent.
Which I like that 40 hours a lot. It gives
That's
the
FLSA.
supervisors a lot of flexibility with minutes and.
And that's the FLSA standard.
Yeah.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Oh, okay, it's just, all right.
Yeah.
I just remember this when I was in construction, we fought when the contractors took that away from us, our 8 hours.
To get it after 8, yeah.
We had to work all 40, but I understand how it works.
Yep. That's the FLSA rule.
Yeah,
Okay. Any more questions?
so that's the only question I had.
Okay, 26606-1, talks about sickness, accident, disability, and pregnancy leave. We are deleting this section and replacing it with the section that's in the 3 contracts for the police unit, since it was written a little lengthy.
Mhm.
So that'll make it more consistent with those 3 collective bargaining agreements.
That one looks real straightforward.
26606-2, we are removing part of this section because it's duplicitous.
It's what?
Duplicitous.
Yes, right, that's what I thought when it's just, that my little notes here say, just no need to specify straight time.
Yep.
Yeah, because it's already implied, yes.
So just cleaning that up a little bit.
I do have a question about that, though, that they're getting straight time, but what if, like, say it's a plow truck driver that may rack up a lot of hours early in the week, then he gets called for jury duty. What if he's over 40 hours already that week? Is he still only going to get straight time for the jury duty?
If it put him in an overtime status, I think he would get overtime for that.
Well, we have to follow this collective
It
bargaining.
would have to, yeah, it depends on how it would go in.
Okay, so, yeah, I mean, he may already be over the 40 hours.
Because he's not covered by this section.
And the bargaining unit employees get overtime after 8.
Okay,
So
Oh.
their language is different in their contract. So this would not pertain to
Got
the
it.
bargaining unit employee.
okay. Nobody else would probably, that would happen to, on your non-collective bargaining employees. They probably wouldn't already have their 40 hours in by,
It would be unlikely.
yeah, that would be, okay. That's good. I didn't take it into consideration to be a bargaining
There'd be a
employee.
contract that would address that. It
Okay.
wouldn't apply to unions.
All right.
Do you have any questions on the first couple?
No, I can't remember where it started. I finally had questions, so, no, I'm good, I think.
We
First
are on
couple seem pretty-
26606-3.
Which one?
26606-3, bereavement leave. And this is another situation where we cleaned up the language so it's more consistent with the 3 bargaining units and the police divisions.
Yes.
Keep working towards getting them all to be consistent. A little easier for us to follow.
Okay, is this the recommended language from like FMLA language kind of.
Oh, I'm on bereavement leave, 26606-3.
But yeah, I'm like, are you stealing it? Because some of it got altered, the relationships.
Right, so it matches the police contract.
Oh, the police, okay.
Yep.
It also matches the casting contract. The only one that it won't match now is fire contract.
Okay.
26606-4. Again, we deleted this section, just say, city will comply with state and federal laws regarding military leave, and that's consistent with the changes we made in the bargaining units as well.
I love those kind of
That's
changes.
very.
Yeah, that.
Love those.
Refer to this.
Yep.
Smart.
Because it changes from time to time. 26609-2. Again, another change to have the language be more consistent with the bargaining unit language.
And I apologize,
What?
this is one of those where the whole thing is highlighted, and I didn't. I don't know why.
And then we had to change some of the section numbers to match for the code because the collective bargaining agreements have some different sections, so they didn't quite match up.
And is that why F was repealed? I was trying to figure out what the reason that F was repealed. You know, paid sick
Paid
leave.
sick leave cannot be used for any period of time for which any other paid absence was
Is
requested.
that some other language that just, was it
That may
redundant?
be covered in the handbook.
I believe that it's repealed because paid, you can only use paid sick leave for sick leave. Or for workers' comp.
No, you can't use paid sick leave for workers' comp. So I don't know that I have the answer for if that is in fact getting into this.
There was a reason, we repealed it. What I want to believe is the case here is that there have been instances in the past where somebody asked for vacation off. The vacation request was denied due to staffing. Then they came back and asked for paid sick leave. So I think this is just saying if you've been denied another form of leave off, you can't just come in and throw down like the paid sick leave part.
Which means a good reason to keep it in.
But in reality, you can't use paid sick leave for anything else other than sick leave.
Oh, it's already written somewhere else in that,
Yeah.
just
Well,
in different
you-
words?
Yeah, you can't, it's not a substitute.
It doesn't qualify as.
Okay.
And then I get to police that. But
Yes,
Yeah.
Kelly
I
has,
check
Kelly's
all
the
the,
piece.
I check all the absence request forms as they come in to make sure they're for a legitimate substitution.
Okay.
As far as we know. All right, 26610-9. Here we're just adding language to clarify, just to make it concrete, clear about the insurability if you lose your driving privileges. And that's a core function of the job.
Mhm.
Just a little clarification on that one.
The question I had on this one was, is there a time limit? I mean, let's say, what if the employee is just uninsurable for a very short, I mean, they somehow get insured right away? Or do you excuse them immediately, discharge them immediately? Or how much
No,
time?
Well, the instances that we've run into, it's going to be for 3 years or more.
Oh,
Usually
really?
As a result of a DUI. And we have had 2 instances for employees that have been let go because they were not able to be insured, and that was a core duty.
Okay, because it has to be under the city's insurance. That, the city, okay, it's not like somebody go get other insurance.
That is not an option. We explored it extensively back a few years ago with a police officer that unfortunately got a DUI.
Got it.
So, all right, 26611-4, standby pay is not a thing for non-union employees, so we are repealing that section, that sentence.
Say that again, Kelly, because this is one that confused me.
Standby pay, it talks about standby pay. This section shall apply to any employees, including those receiving standby pay. Standby pay is not a thing for non-bargaining units. We don't have
It's actually a reference to the fire division.
that they don't do it.
And they no longer
And they don't do
do
it
it
anymore either. 26612-2 and 3 are both being repealed because they're now in the employee handbook.
Yep.
Looks silly.
And then last but not least, 26613-1, we changed the title of the section to reflect emergency staffing since residency is no longer a thing. We do require, however, that some senior staff members be available in case for emergency recall.
Which one is this?
That's 13.
26613-1.
Well, we skipped 12.
12-3.
Silly.
Yeah, 12.2 and 12.3 are both repealed because they're in the handbook.
Okay, all right.
Sorry.
And what was the change here? I think this is one where I wasn't sure I saw a difference.
The title.
Oh,
Just the title, yeah. We changed, instead of residency, we changed to emergency staffing.
Okay. Makes sense.
Any other questions? Comments, concerns?
Any questions, you guys?
Nope.
Any
No,
objections of recommending to council? All of them?
I'm good with all of them.
Outstanding.
Guys, okay with me introducing them all at once with the
Amen.
Although it's December, it would be one of Deborah's
You
last.
never know.
And we are very close to the end of any provisions for this section.
You said that last meeting.
I know I did. But we went back through it after this grouping. There's a couple sections that we have to deal with that talks about nomenclature, where it references the executive, the senior administrator, da, da, da. Now that we have the pay band system, we just need to figure out how to change the nomenclature section, which affects two different sections, which is like the deferred compensation section, I think life insurance perhaps, and there might be one other section. After that, we're done. With this committee. I'll say with 266, then we're going to tackle 267, which is that part-time employee section. And I think I've had some conversations with at least one of the committee members regarding how the part-time pay scale is set up. We need to go back and look at that just like we did the full-time pay scale. And then we should be done doing that for years. Hopefully.
Okay, on to the next agenda item, changes to the reporting structure of the prosecutor's office. I know Kate sent out a proposed change here. It looks like just adding one section. Kate, I guess what's your thought on it when you were?
I think you have a problem under the charter.
Can I just say one thing? The camera and everything doesn't pick you up sitting back there. You may want to come up here, just if anybody else is, listening or in the future in the videos or anything, you may want to be up here.
I don't need to be on camera, I'm fine.
I know, you really ought to be up here next to me.
Yeah, that's gonna be a change for you once.
Someday you're going to come back up here.
You're so cute, you think that.
You think you're so. I won't finish that.
With the addition of Angela, there's no room.
Oh, there will be.
Oh, sure.
The only legal opinion I have about this change is if you look at the charter, and that's the first page that I gave you, in that little packet that I gave you, it says that the law director shall represent the municipality in all proceedings in court or before any administrative board. It doesn't say just civil. So you may be violating the charter with the restructure.
And the code section for the law department refers to the charter section. that they shall have all the duties as described in the city charter.
Now, Kate, I'm not seeing in here, the Director of Law serves under the supervision of the city administrator, but I'm not seeing where the municipal prosecutor.
The municipal prosecutor is not in the charter.
Not in the charter.
Oh, okay.
Municipal prosecutor is in the ordinances,
Okay,
under the law department,
okay.
and hang on, I can't do it upside down. I'm sorry. It's asking a lot of me. The charter states that.
The only charter thing you gave us was this first page, right? The rest
Yeah,
is all,
charter to
oh,
our ordinance. The prosecutor is not in the charter. Prosecutor is only in the ordinances.
See, I guess what I look at is that second paragraph where it says, unless provided by ordinance of council. So I read that as a way to kind of create authority elsewhere.
Where's that at, Corey?
Right in the middle, the director of law shall perform all duties now or hereafter imposed upon municipal law directors under the laws of the state of Ohio, unless otherwise provided by ordinance of the council.
I mean, that's in the charter language? Or?
Yeah, that's in the charter language.
Which section?
Right here.
Okay.
So she's referring to the top part,
I see.
and afterwards it kind of,
Oh, I see it.
I think it gives us the authority to delegate some of those duties. Is the way I would read that.
I'm not sure what it means by under the laws of the state of Ohio.
It's just probably referring to an ORC definition of director of law.
Director.
Yeah. But within that same language, I feel like it gives us delegation power too,
I see.
which we've kind of already done with the prosecutor.
Mhm. I get what you're saying. I don't know how we resolve this if we need to
A charter?
seek outside counsel. But
Yeah, we might.
I mean, it's kind of hard. Kate's caught in the middle of this thing because she's
Yeah.
she's in this reporting chain. So I don't know. I don't want to act contrary to what she may believe the charter, how it should be read.
Right, and that's, I absolutely agree with
It's not a
you.
good place to be in, so. But I think this would be an appropriate case to have
Yep,
outside counsel.
outside kind of run, like do a memo for us, or an opinion.
And I think it should be outside counsel that maybe hasn't worked with the city before.
Yep.
I mean, again, any outside counsel is going to have a lot of contact with residents. So it would seem to me it maybe should be someone newer face.
Well, is it, yeah. And do we still have the budget, how Matuzak had money
Yeah,
set
we
aside?
still have that, but I don't know that this is, you know, like, I mean, you can take the money out of there, I don't care. But
Yeah, they could come out of there or the law.
it's not, that was really meant to be, if the council may be in a position where it's, to some extent, is contrary to the administration and
Right.
wants its own legal advice. I don't think we're really in that spot.
No, I don't think so
it's
either.
just, that there's some conflicting language here. Kate has said it may create an issue. Well, I think, we need to get someone
Yeah.
on the outside who is involved and in the reporting chain, and have them take a look at it.
Yeah, I mean, we are currently utilizing very few attorneys.
This would be one of those where I don't know if we're tapped into the, what is it, OML or OLM, like blog posts and stuff where attorneys are on there.
Yeah, I think goes on their posts, questions every once in a while. OMAA, I think.
Because to me, maybe making I don't think it's something that we necessarily have to take bids or anything like that on. I feel like you could throw a feeler out there if someone would entertain doing an opinion of the language and what we're trying to do.
Oh, another municipal prosecutor?
Yeah,
Municipal
or yeah, someone that's familiar with working with charters and,
I mean, I have to think that.
I mean, I could probably, I mean, do we ever work with Mike Marsh down in Bowling Green?
No.
I was gonna say, he might be a,
So that'd be like.
yeah, I mean, he might be a really good person to reach out to, because he's gonna be new for this city, but old enough to not really care about anybody's relationship with anybody.
Since I've been here, we've not ever used my phone.
Okay, I would say, do
Or his phone.
Like Marcia.
you want me to reach, do you want the administration to reach out, or?
Doesn't matter, whatever your preference.
I'll give Mike a call tomorrow, see if that's something he can do or his office can do.
Because right now, I think obviously we're working with Zashin and Rich, or have in the past. Sarah's with Eastman and Smith, and I don't think we're using any of the outside counsel. Lori, our environmental out of Columbus, but other than those three, we're not, you know.
No, Mike's a pretty damn good municipal attorney. so.
Given Lori's billable hours, it should not be very effective.
What now?
Given what Lori charges us an hour for environmental.
Oh, that's a nice little niche area right now, isn't it? Oh, man. Take as much work as they can get right now. I'll make a note. I would say let's hold off on this, even reviewing it, until we have someone else that says whether we can even do it or not. My one comment would be, I want it more transposed in the language itself, what the prosecutor's doing too, or what their role is, whether it's a two-headed thing or whether it's still structured under you, whatnot. So, but I'll
Would
reach
you
out.
recommend Mr. Marsh write that language as well as interpret our charter?
So what I would say is I'll probably talk to him. I'll give him maybe input from kind of a roundabout of what we're trying to do or what we're thinking of doing as a council, and then put him in contact with you guys too, so he can ask questions. If there's any other language he's concerned about, or you can specifically tell him what you're concerned about with the conflict. But he's usually pretty easy to work with.
One other thing, if you do end up making changes to 242, I was just reading 242.
Oh, there's 24206. There we go.
242.03. You have that paragraph in front of you? Way down at the bottom where it says, in such other matters as he may be directed, would you like that to say he or she?
I'd like to say they.
Are they? Yeah, okay. I noticed we've been doing that in several other sections. We've been kind of correcting that.
Oh, yeah. pretty presumptuous, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, and I've seen that in other places too. I think there's places, it'll come up as we go through.
Yeah, let's
everything.
be cognizant of the pronouns.
In the charter, I believe it's in the parts a lot, it comes up in the charter a lot where it says he. Yeah.
I don't know if it's possible to just pass an ordinance that says all he's and she's shall be days in the city of Perrysburg municipal code, and then make the people who draft our code find them all and put them in.
Not a bad idea.
And take care of 90%.
I mean, it really should just be a find and replace. That's pretty easy with,
I mean, we have issues like that with like titles, in the sense that we have a utilities director and a service director, but the code still has that as.
that's actually not a bad,
So, it's service and safety. Service, but, I mean, it has to be one of those things that we don't have to do every section. We could just pass an ordinance that
that,
says anywhere that the word he or she is used in the city of Perrysburg code shall now be changed to they. Anywhere that service safety director is used shall now be changed to, I'm just gonna defend. Service, the problem with that one is that sometimes it's service and sometimes it's utility. That's
Yeah.
not as easy.
I would just do the he and she to they. I think that's actually a really smart ordinance to do, because then once we have somebody that has the capability of just dropping that in there,
We could ask the
You just do it.
university contact Brain, who actually does the codifying,
yeah,
and ask them what the best approach is to take.
just so they can drop it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we do this, can you do it?
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Rather than trying to catch them all. If you know what
I'll catch them all. I will.
We'll let you proofread.
You're right. Okay.
See that confidence? That's why I didn't do 266. I have no questions. I'll go ahead and take that upon myself to email. I'll probably have a phone call with Mike followed with an email that I'll copy Kate and Bridget on. Would the mayor want to be on that, or? I'm sure if you were here, he'd probably say no.
I will make sure any communication you provide is provided.
Okay. Yeah, because any correspondence I have with him, I'll copy you guys on. Other than the first probably initial phone call to see if he's got time. All right, and then other business?
Nope,
I have nothing.
I have nothing. We're adjourned. Let's get out of here.
sorry I got here late. I wanted to debate last month's minutes.
Oh, well, it's too late now. We already.